If you've been trying to raise your vibration and nothing's working, it's because you've been taught to vibrate incorrectly your entire life. Russian quantum physicist Vadim Zeland discovered why. You're not creating reality. You're selecting it from infinite timelines that already exist. In the next 60 minutes, I'll show you the correct frequency, the one that makes reality literally rearrange itself to match your desires. Let's begin. Let me guess your story, because I've heard it thousands of times, and maybe it's yours too. You've tried manifestation. You've done the vision boards. You've repeated the affirmations every morning in the mirror. You've visualized your dream life so vividly you could taste it. You've raised your vibration with gratitude practices, with meditation, with all the techniques the gurus promised would work. And some things shifted. Maybe you manifested small things, a parking spot, a free coffee, a text from someone you were thinking about. Those little synchronicities that make you think, okay, this is real. But the big stuff, the life-changing transformation, the complete reality shift you were promised, it either didn't come or it came and then disappeared. Like the universe gave you a taste and then took it back. And here's what happened next. You blamed yourself. You thought, I'm not vibrating high enough. I'm not believing hard enough. I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm just not one of those people who can manifest their dream life. Listen to me carefully. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're not missing some secret gift that other people have. What you're missing is the correct understanding of how vibration actually works. You've been trying to run new software on an old operating system. You've been trying to tune into a new radio station while your antenna is pointing in the wrong direction. What makes this approach different is that we're going to bridge 3 dimensions of understanding that are rarely brought together. First, the science of consciousness. We're going to explore the actual quantum physics behind why everything is energy, not as a nice spiritual phrase, but as measurable, provable reality. You'll learn about the observer effect, quantum entanglement, and why Russian quantum physicist Vadim Zeland's reality transurfing model changes everything we thought we knew about manifestation. This isn't pseudoscience. This is the bridge between cutting-edge physics and ancient wisdom, finally explained in a way that makes sense. Second, energy self-care as medicine. You'll discover why your biofield, your electromagnetic energy field, is the actual mechanism through which you create reality. We'll go into the science of how your heart generates a magnetic field 5,000 times stronger than your brain, how your thoughts create measurable frequencies, and why energy hygiene is more important than anything you eat or don't eat. This is practical technology for literally rewiring your nervous system and changing the frequency you broadcast to the quantum field. Third, natural magic, reality transurfing principles. You're going to learn Vadim Zeland's revolutionary framework, the space of variations, pendulums, excess potential, the Freeling technique, and how to slide between parallel realities like changing channels on a television. These aren't metaphors. These are mechanisms that you can use starting today. When you bring these 3 together, the science, the energy, and the practice, something extraordinary happens. You don't just change your thoughts. You don't just heal your emotions. You literally shift the frequency you're broadcasting. And when you do that, you automatically tune into a different layer of the space of variations where your desired reality already exists. Before we begin, I need to tell you something important. This content is activational. What does that mean? As you watch this video, your frequency is already beginning to shift. Some of you might feel tingling in your hands or feet. Some might feel emotional, tears, joy, or even anger, as old patterns start to release. Some might feel a sudden clarity, like fog lifting from your mind. Some might feel a physical sensation in your heart or solar plexus. That's not random. That's your system recognizing truth. That's your higher self saying, yes, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. Trust what you feel in your body more than what you think in your mind. Your body is a quantum antenna, and it knows when information is aligning you with your true frequency. Let's begin the journey from incorrect vibration to correct vibration, and watch what happens when you finally tune into the reality that's been waiting for you. For the past decade, I've been obsessed with one question. Why does manifestation work brilliantly for some people and fail miserably for others who are doing the exact same techniques? I'm not a mystic disconnected from reality. I'm someone who hunts for truth, whether that truth is found in a quantum physics laboratory or in the ancient practices of energy masters. And what I've discovered is this: the spiritual community got the what right, but the how wrong. Yes, everything is energy. Yes, you create your reality. Yes, your thoughts and emotions shape the world around you. That part is true, and it's provable by science. But here's the revolutionary part that changes everything. Consciousness isn't a product of matter. Consciousness is the matter. You're not in the universe trying to manipulate it from the outside. You are the universe, experiencing itself through the lens of your specific frequency. And here's where reality transurfing, the framework developed by Russian quantum physicist Vadim Zeland, blows the doors off everything you thought you knew. You're not creating reality. You're selecting it from an infinite field of already existing possibilities. Think about that for a moment. Your dream life already exists, not as a potential future, as a current reality in a parallel layer of existence. The only question is, are you vibrating at the frequency that allows you to experience it? Today, you're going to receive the complete map. Here's exactly what we're covering. Part 1, the quantum physics of vibration. We'll explore the double-slit experiment, the observer effect, and why Einstein's spooky action at a distance proves that your consciousness is entangled with everything in the universe. You'll learn why observation literally collapses quantum possibilities into physical reality. Part 2, the space of variations. Vadim Zeland's revolutionary model that explains how infinite versions of reality exist simultaneously, and why you're not manifesting from scratch, but selecting from infinite options that already exist. Part 3, why you're vibrating incorrectly. The 3 mistakes that keep you locked into the wrong frequency: excess potential, importance, and pendulums. This is where most people sabotage themselves without even knowing it. Part 4, the heart as quantum antenna. The science of heart coherence from the HeartMath Institute. Why your heart's electromagnetic field is your primary reality creation tool, and how to activate coherence in under 5 minutes. Part 5, the Freeling technique, a step-by-step protocol from reality transurfing that allows you to slide between parallel realities by feeling the frequency of your desired timeline before it manifests physically. Part 6, energy hygiene for correct vibration. Daily practices to clear foreign frequencies, maintain your energetic sovereignty, and stay locked into the timeline where your desires already exist. When you integrate these 6 pieces, you don't just understand vibration intellectually, you become a master of frequency. And when you master frequency, reality becomes as malleable as water. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to learn will challenge everything you thought you knew about who you are, what's possible, and how this universe actually works. Let's begin. 1927, the Solvay Conference in Brussels. The greatest minds in physics, Einstein, Bohr, Heisenberg, Schrödinger, gathered to discuss the implications of an experiment that had just shattered the foundations of classical physics. The experiment was called the double-slit experiment, and it revealed something so disturbing that even Einstein spent the rest of his life trying to disprove it. Here's what happened. Scientists shot electrons, tiny particles of matter, through two slits in a barrier toward a detection screen. Classical physics predicted the electrons would create two lines on the screen, corresponding to the two slits. But that's not what happened. Instead, the electrons created an interference pattern, a series of multiple lines indicating that each electron was somehow going through both slits simultaneously, like a wave interfering with itself. But here's where it gets mind-bending. The moment scientists placed a detector to observe which slit each electron went through, the interference pattern disappeared. The electrons started behaving like particles again, going through one slit or the other, but not both. Do you understand what this means? The act of observation changed the behavior of physical matter. When no one was watching, the electron existed as a wave of possibility, present in multiple places simultaneously. But the moment consciousness observed it, that wave collapsed into a single, definite particle. Niels Bohr, one of the founders of quantum mechanics, said it explicitly: there is no quantum reality until it is observed. Let me translate that into plain language. Reality doesn't exist as one fixed thing. It exists as infinite possibilities, and your consciousness selects which possibility becomes real. You're not in a pre-existing reality trying to change it. You're collapsing possibility into reality through the frequency of your observation. And here's the question that changes everything. If your consciousness collapses quantum possibilities into physical reality, what frequency is your consciousness broadcasting right now? Because that frequency determines which possibility collapses into your experience. Are you broadcasting the frequency of lack? Then you'll collapse realities where you experience lack. Are you broadcasting the frequency of abundance? Then you'll collapse realities where abundance is already present. This isn't philosophy. This isn't belief. This is measurable quantum physics. But here's where it gets even more interesting. And this is where Vadim Zeland's reality transurfing model becomes absolutely crucial. Because the question isn't just, how does consciousness collapse reality? The question is, what determines the frequency your consciousness is broadcasting? And the answer will surprise you. It's not your thoughts. It's not even your beliefs. It's something much deeper, something you've been doing unconsciously your entire life. Let's go into the model that explains how infinite realities exist simultaneously and why you've been accidentally locked into the wrong one. Let's go straight to the scientific point that changes everything. Reality is not one singular timeline. Reality is a space of infinite parallel variations, all existing simultaneously. This isn't mysticism. This is the logical conclusion of quantum superposition combined with the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. In 1957, physicist Hugh Everett III at Princeton University proposed something radical: the many worlds interpretation. Everett argued quantum mechanics that when a quantum event has multiple possible outcomes, the universe doesn't choose one outcome. Instead, it splits into multiple parallel universes, one for each possible outcome. In one universe, you made one choice. In another universe, you made a different choice. Both exist, both are real. For decades, this was dismissed as science fiction, but recent experiments have provided extraordinary support for this model. In 2019, researchers at Griffith University in Australia conducted an experiment that detected quantum interactions between parallel worlds. They demonstrated that quantum particles in our universe are influenced by their counterparts in parallel universes. The lead researcher, Professor Howard Wiseman, stated, "The parallel universes are real, and they interact with our universe." Maman, think about the implications. If parallel realities exist and interact with our reality at the quantum level, that means every version of your life, every choice you could make, every reality you could experience already exists as a current reality in a parallel layer of the space of variations. You're not creating from scratch. You're selecting from infinite options that already exist. Vadim Zeland calls this the space of variations, a field containing every possible version of reality, past, present, and future, all existing now. Your job isn't to force reality to change. Your job is to change your frequency so you naturally slide into the layer of the space where your desired reality already exists. Vibrating, implicação pessoal, 30 segundos. And before you think this is too abstract, understand this. You've already experienced sliding between parallel realities. You just didn't know that's what was happening. Every time you've had a sudden shift in your life where everything changed in an instant, every time you felt like you woke up in a different version of your reality, every time synchronicities aligned so perfectly, it felt like magic. That wasn't magic. That was you sliding into a parallel layer of the space of variations where those circumstances already existed. The question is, can you do it intentionally? Here's what almost no one understands about vibration and frequency. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Specifically, what frequency you're broadcasting through your biofield. And here's the part that will blow your mind. Most people are broadcasting a frequency they're not even aware of. Think of reality like a vast, infinite radio spectrum. Every radio station exists simultaneously. Rock, jazz, classical, news, talk shows, all broadcasting at the same time on different frequencies. The radio waves are already in the air around you right now, carrying every station. Your radio doesn't create the station. It selects which station you hear by tuning into a specific frequency. The space of variations works exactly the same way. Every version of your life already exists. The wealthy version, the healthy version, the loving relationship version, the struggling version, the abundant version. They're all broadcasting simultaneously on different frequencies. Your consciousness is the radio dial, and your frequency, the electromagnetic field generated by your heart and brain, determines which station of reality you tune into and experience. If you're tuned to 98.5 FM, the frequency of lack, struggle, unworthiness, you'll experience the reality that matches that frequency, no matter how much you want to experience abundance. If you shift your frequency to 103.7 FM, the frequency of abundance, ease, worthiness, you'll automatically slide into the layer of reality where abundance already exists. You don't have to create abundance. You have to become the frequency of abundance, and reality will rearrange itself to match. So let's apply this. If you're broadcasting fear, you tune into realities where there's something to fear. If you're broadcasting lack, I need this to be happy, You tune into realities where lack persists. If you're broadcasting force, I must make this happen. You tune into realities where things resist you. But if you broadcast coherence, trust, and the feeling of already having what you desire, you slide into the parallel reality where it already exists. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. You can think positive thoughts all day, but if your heart is broadcasting fear, unworthiness, or lack, your heart's electromagnetic field, which is 5,000 times stronger than your brain's, will override your thoughts every single time. And here's the hard part to accept. Most people are vibrating at the frequency of their past traumas, their childhood programming, and the collective pendulums they're unconsciously attached to. They're not vibrating at the frequency of their desired future. They're vibrating at the frequency of their unresolved past, and then wondering why the future keeps looking like the past. This is where the work begins. So, what's the solution? The solution is coherence, specifically heart-brain coherence, the state where your heart, brain, and nervous system synchronize into a unified electromagnetic field that broadcasts a clear, powerful frequency. This isn't meditation. This isn't relaxation. This is activating your biofield as a quantum antenna that selects your desired reality from the space of variations. Here's the exact protocol. This comes from the HeartMath Institute, which has studied heart coherence for over 30 years. The Heart Coherence Protocol, 5 minutes. Step 1. Find your center, 30 seconds. Sit comfortably with your feet flat on the ground. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your heart. Step 2, shift your breath 1 minute. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 5. Hold for 2. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 5. Hold for 2. Imagine your breath flowing in and out directly through your heart center. Not your lungs, but your heart. Visualize your heart expanding and contracting with each breath. Step 3, activate a coherent emotion, 2 minutes. This is the key step. Feel an emotion of gratitude, appreciation, care, or compassion. Not forced, not fake, real feeling. Think of a person you love deeply, a pet, a moment when you felt completely at peace, a beautiful place in nature. Whatever generates the feeling, not the thought, but the visceral feeling of love or gratitude in your chest. Hold that feeling. Let it fill your entire body. Feel your heart warming, opening, expanding. Step 4, hold the frequency, 1.5 minutes. Once you feel that coherent emotion, hold it. Don't let your mind wander to problems, to-do lists, or worries. Stay in the feeling of your heart. This is where your heart and brain synchronize. This is where your biofield generates a coherent electromagnetic signal. This is where you become a clear radio dial tuned to the frequency of your desired reality. Step 5, set your intention from coherence, 30 seconds. While in this coherent state, briefly visualize or feel the reality you desire, not from lack, not from "I need this," but from the feeling of already experiencing it. Feel the relief, the joy, the peace of already being in that reality. Hold that for 10-15 seconds, then release it. Trust that you've just broadcast a clear signal to the quantum field. When you first practice this, your mind will resist. It will say, "This is silly," or "Nothing's happening, that's normal." Your mind is used to controlling everything, and this practice bypasses the mind to work directly with your heart's electromagnetic field. But if you do this consistently, every morning for 5 minutes for 30 days, you'll start noticing synchronicities, shifts in your external reality, and a deep internal knowing that something fundamental has changed. Now, before you run off to practice heart coherence, there's something crucial you need to understand. There are 3 invisible forces that will actively sabotage your frequency and pull you back into the wrong timeline, no matter how much heart coherence you achieve. Vadim Zeland calls them pendulums, and they're the reason most people can't hold a new frequency for more than a few days. Let me show you what they are and how to break free. Let's talk about something most manifestation teachers will never mention. Your frequency isn't just influenced by your thoughts and emotions. It's being constantly influenced and hijacked by external energetic structures that feed on your attention and emotional energy. Vadim Zeland calls these structures pendulums, and understanding them is the difference between maintaining your desired frequency and being dragged back into old patterns. In 1993, researchers at the HeartMath Institute discovered something extraordinary. Human heart rhythms don't just respond to internal states. They respond to and synchronize with external electromagnetic fields. Dr. Rollin McCarty, director of research at HeartMath, found that when two people are in close proximity, their heart rhythms begin to entrain, meaning one person's heart rhythm influences the other's, creating a feedback loop. But here's what's even more significant. This entrainment doesn't just happen between individuals. It happens between individuals and collective energy fields, what Zeland calls pendulums. Think of a pendulum like a massive energetic structure created by the collective attention and emotional energy of many people focused on the same thing. Political ideologies, religious movements, corporate cultures, social media trends, family dynamics, cultural narratives. These pendulums have their own frequency signature, and they actively pull you into resonance with their frequency, whether that frequency serves you or not. Zeland explains that pendulums operate through a principle of energetic resonance. When you give attention and emotional energy to a pendulum by arguing politics, consuming fear-based news, participating in drama, defending your position, you feed the pendulum, and in return, it amplifies those frequencies in your biofield. The result? You're no longer vibrating at your desired frequency. You're vibrating at the frequency of the pendulum, which keeps you locked in struggle, conflict, lack, or fear. This is measurable. When you're arguing with someone about politics, your heart rate variability, HRV, drops, your cortisol spikes, and your electromagnetic field becomes chaotic. You've been pulled into the pendulum's frequency. When you disengage from the pendulum, your HRV returns to coherence, cortisol decreases, and your field stabilizes. So here's the truth you need to accept. Every time you've tried to hold a new frequency and failed, it wasn't because you lacked willpower or discipline. It was because you were unknowingly feeding pendulums that pulled you back into lower frequencies. Your family's pendulum. You're just like your father. You'll never change. Society's pendulum. You have to work hard to deserve success. The news media's pendulum. The world is falling apart. Be afraid. These aren't abstract concepts. These are energetic structures that hijack your frequency every single day. The question is, are you ready to break free? Here's what few people understand about pendulums. A pendulum isn't inherently good or bad. It's simply an energetic structure that wants to sustain itself by harvesting your energy. And it does that through one mechanism, making you react emotionally. Imagine a pendulum like a massive invisible entity, a thought form created by millions of people's collective attention. Think of it like a giant machine that runs on fuel, and the fuel is your emotional energy. Anger, fear, righteousness, need for validation, defensiveness, guilt, shame. When you react emotionally to the pendulum's triggers, you feed it, you give it energy, and in return, it amplifies those emotions in your field, pulling you deeper into its frequency. For example, political pendulums. Doesn't matter which side, left or right. The pendulum's job is to keep you reacting, angry, outraged, defending, attacking. Every time you argue, post, consume fear-based news, you feed the pendulum, and the pendulum keeps you locked in chaos, division, and low frequency. Family drama pendulums work the same way. Your mother criticizes you. You react defensively. She reacts back. You're both feeding the family pendulum, which keeps recycling the same patterns generation after generation. The pendulum doesn't care if you win the argument. It just cares that you engage, because engagement, just energy, just fuel. So let's apply this to your life. Think about something that consistently triggers you emotionally. A family member who pushes your buttons. A political issue that enrages you. A societal expectation that makes you feel inadequate. A news story that terrifies you. That's a pendulum. And every time you react emotionally, you 1. Feed the pendulum energy. 2. Amplify that frequency in your own biofield. 3. Lock yourself into a timeline where that pattern persists. But here's the key. You can't fight a pendulum. Fighting is feeding. The only way to break free is to stop reacting, to withdraw your energy completely, to become what Zeland calls indifferent, not cold, not avoidant, but neutral. And here's the hard truth. Most people are addicted to feeding pendulums because pendulums give you a sense of identity, purpose, and belonging. Being outraged feels righteous. Being victimized feels validating. Being part of a collective struggle feels meaningful. But every moment you spend in those states, you're vibrating at the frequency of the pendulum, not the frequency of your desired reality. You have to choose. Do you want to be right or do you want to be free? So what's the solution to breaking free from pendulums? Zeland offers a technique called fryling, a way to move through life without feeding pendulums, without creating excess potential, and without resistance. Fryling means flowing like water, not forcing, not fighting, not attaching to outcomes. It means being in the world but not entangled with its pendulums. Here's the exact Freeling protocol for pendulum freedom. The Freeling practice daily. Step 1. Identify your active pendulums. Morning 3 minutes. Sit quietly. Write down 3 to 5 things that consistently trigger emotional reactions in you. Family dynamics, political news, work stress, financial worry, relationship conflict. These are your active pendulums. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Step 2, set a neutrality intention. 1 minute. Say this internally. Today I observe without reacting. I allow pendulums to exist without feeding them my energy. I remain neutral, free, and sovereign. Step 3, practice the pause throughout the day. Every time you feel triggered, anger, fear, defensiveness, need to be right, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Place your hand on your heart. Ask yourself, is this my energy or am I being pulled into a pendulum? 90% of the time, it's a pendulum. Step 4. Redirect without reaction, 10 to 15 seconds per incident. Instead of reacting, respond with neutral acknowledgement. Someone criticizes you, I hear you. No defense, no agreement, just acknowledgement. Someone tries to pull you into drama. That sounds challenging. No involvement, just acknowledgement. News tries to trigger fear, close it. No consumption. No, you're not suppressing emotion. You're recognizing that the emotion is the pendulum's hook, and you're choosing not to bite. Step 5. Return to your frequency. Evening, 5 minutes. Before bed, do the heart coherence practice from earlier. This resets your frequency after a day of navigating pendulums. Feel gratitude, coherence, and the feeling of your desired reality. You're reclaiming your frequency and tuning back into your chosen timeline. When you first practice freeling, people will push harder. They'll try to get a reaction because subconsciously, they feel that you're withdrawing your energy from the pendulum they're attached to. This is normal. Stay neutral. Don't explain. Don't defend, don't justify, just be in your frequency. After 2 to 3 weeks, people will either, on A, stop trying to trigger you, or B, naturally fall away from your life. Both are positive outcomes. You're selecting a new timeline where those dynamics don't exist. Now that you understand pendulums and how to break free, we need to address the second invisible saboteur, excess potential. Because here's what most people don't realize. The harder you try to manifest something, the more you push it away. And it has nothing to do with worthiness or belief. It has to do with a fundamental law of energy that Zeland calls the law of excess potential. Let me show you what it is and why it's been blocking your manifestations without you ever knowing. Here's a principle that will completely reframe how you approach manifestation. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to energetic balance. And whenever you create an imbalance, what Zeland calls excess potential, the universe automatically generates balancing forces to neutralize it. This is why forcing, needing, and overvaluing actually push your desires away. In physics, this principle is called Le Chatelier's principle, discovered by French chemist Henri-Louis Le Chatelier in 1884. Le Chatelier's principle states, when a system at equilibrium is disturbed by a change in conditions, the system shifts in a way that counteracts the disturbance and restores equilibrium. In chemistry, if you add heat to a reaction, the system shifts to absorb that heat and cool down. If you add pressure, the system shifts to reduce that pressure. Vadim Zeland applied this principle to human consciousness and energy. When you create excess potential, overvaluing something, attaching your happiness to an outcome, needing it desperately, the universe generates balancing forces to neutralize that imbalance. What are balancing forces? Obstacles, delays, resistance, setbacks, circumstances that prevent you from getting what you're desperately trying to force. It's not punishment. It's not the universe testing you. It's physics. The system is automatically restoring balance. Think about your own life. Every time you've desperately needed something to happen, a job, a relationship, money, how did it go? Most likely, the more you needed it, the more it resisted. The more you chased, the more it ran. The more you forced, the more obstacles appeared. But then, the moment you let go, the moment you stopped caring so intensely, stopped attaching your entire emotional state to the outcome, suddenly it showed up effortlessly. That wasn't coincidence. That was the law of excess potential in action. The moment you released the excess potential, the need, the overvaluing, the attachment, the balancing forces disappeared, and the path to your desire became clear. So here's the brutal truth you need to accept. Every time you've tried to manifest something and it didn't work, it wasn't because you didn't believe hard enough, visualize vividly enough, or take enough action. It was because you created excess potential and the universe neutralized it. You wanted it too much. You needed it too desperately. You overvalued it to the point where your frequency became, I don't have this, and the universe mirrored that frequency back to you. The solution: stop forcing, start allowing. Here's what almost no one tells you about manifestation. The secret to getting what you want isn't wanting it more. It's wanting it less, or more precisely, releasing the need for it to complete you. Desire is fine. Need creates excess potential, and excess potential generates balancing forces that block your manifestation. Imagine you're holding a beach ball underwater. The beach ball represents your desire: wealth, love, health, success. The water represents the quantum field, the space of variations. Now, the harder you push the beach ball underwater, the more you need it, force it, obsess over it, the more resistance the water creates. The ball pushes back with equal and opposite force. You're exhausted, struggling, and the ball never stays down. But the moment you release your grip, the moment you stop forcing, the beach ball naturally rises to the surface, effortlessly, without struggle. That's how manifestation works. D. Your desire already exists in the space of variations, like the beach ball naturally wants to float. But your need for it creates resistance, excess potential, which generates balancing forces, obstacles that keep it submerged. The moment you release the need, the moment you feel complete without it, the balancing forces dissolve and your desire floats naturally into your reality. Let's apply this to specific situations. Money. If you need money desperately, you create excess potential. The balancing forces, bills, emergencies, unexpected expenses. But when you feel abundant without the money, through gratitude, coherence, and trust, the balancing forces dissolve and money flows easily. Relationships. If you need someone to love you to feel complete, you create excess potential. The balancing forces, rejection, unavailable partners, relationships that mirror your lack. But when you feel whole without a partner, suddenly aligned people appear effortlessly. Health. If you're desperate to heal and attach your entire emotional state to being healthy, you create excess potential. The balancing forces, symptoms that persist, treatments that don't work. But when you release the desperation and trust your body's intelligence, healing often happens spontaneously. And here's the hardest part to accept. Releasing excess potential doesn't mean you stop desiring. It means you stop making your happiness conditional on having the desire fulfilled. Most people can't do this. They think, but if I stop caring, nothing will happen. Actually, the opposite is true. When you stop needing, everything starts flowing. So how do you release excess potential without suppressing your desire? Zeland offers a technique that's both simple and profound. The slide technique, a way to feel your desired reality as already complete, which automatically dissolves excess potential and aligns you with the frequency where that reality exists. Here's the exact slide technique protocol. The slide technique, 10 minutes daily. Step 1, identify your desired reality. 2 minutes. Be specific, not, I want to be happy, too vague. But I'm living in a home filled with light. My work is fulfilling and abundant. My body feels vibrant and healthy. Write it in present tense, as if it already exists, because in a parallel layer of the space of variations, it does. Step 2, create the slide. 3 minutes. Close your eyes. Enter heart coherence. Breath through your heart. Activate gratitude. Now feel yourself already living in that reality. Not visualizing from the outside, but experiencing from the inside. What does your morning feel like in that reality? How does your body feel when you wake up? What's the energy in your home? How do you move through your day? What emotions are natural in that reality? Don't force the details. Just feel the overall frequency of that timeline. Feel the relief, the peace, the joy, the normalcy of it. Step 3, anchor the frequency. 2 minutes. While holding that feeling, say internally, this is my reality. I'm already here. I allow myself to slide into this frequency. Feel your body absorbing that frequency. Feel it becoming natural, not special, just the new normal. Step 4, release and trust. 1 minute. Open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Release the need for it to happen in any specific way or timeline. Trust that you've just broadcast a clear frequency signal, and the quantum field is already rearranging circumstances to align with that frequency. Step 5, live as if throughout the day. This is the key. Throughout your day, make small choices. as if you're already in that reality. If your desired reality includes health, make choices a healthy version of you would make, not from discipline, but from identity. If your desired reality includes abundance, carry yourself as if you're already abundant, not arrogant, just relaxed about money. If your desired reality includes love, treat yourself with the love you desire to receive. You're not faking it, you're embodying the frequency of the reality you're selecting. When you first practice the slide, your ego will panic. It will say, "But nothing has changed physically. This is delusional. Ignore it." The physical reality is the last thing to shift. The energetic shift happens first. You'll notice synchronicities, opportunities, and internal shifts before external circumstances change. Stay in the frequency. Trust the process. Give it 30, 60 days of consistent practice. Now, before you start implementing these techniques, there's one final error that sabotages 90% of people who learn reality transurfing, and it has nothing to do with technique. It has to do with importance. Let me show you what importance really is, why it's the most insidious form of excess potential, and how to dissolve it completely. As promised, let me reveal the #1 error that prevents 90% of people from successfully applying reality transurfing. The error is importance, not effort, not belief, not action. Importance. Here's what Zeland means by importance. Importance is any situation where you attribute excessive meaning, value, or significance to something, to the point where your internal state depends on that thing being a certain way. There are two types of importance. Internal importance. I must be successful, smart, worthy, special. Your self-worth depends on external validation. External importance. This opportunity must work out. This person must love me. This outcome must happen. Your emotional state depends on external circumstances. Both create massive excess potential, and the universe immediately generates balancing forces to neutralize it. Here's why importance is so insidious. It feels righteous. It feels like you're taking things seriously, like you're being responsible, like you're demonstrating commitment. But energetically, importance is fear disguised as seriousness. When you make something important, you're saying, without this, I'm not okay. Without this, I'm incomplete. Without this, I'm less than. And that frequency, I'm incomplete without this, is the exact frequency that repels your desire. Think about your own life. Every time you've gone into a job interview thinking, I need this job or I'm screwed, how did it go? You probably didn't get it, or if you did, it wasn't what you expected. Every time you've approached a relationship thinking, this person must love me or I'm unlovable, how did that end? Probably with rejection or a toxic dynamic. Every time you've attached your entire identity to an outcome, if I don't achieve this, I'm a failure. What happened? Either you didn't achieve it or you achieved it and felt empty. That's importance creating excess potential, generating balancing forces, and blocking your manifestation. The solution? Dissolve importance by recognizing that your worthiness, completeness, and peace don't depend on any external outcome. You're already whole. You're already worthy. You're already enough. The manifestation is just the cherry on top, not the cake itself. When you truly embody that, importance dissolves, excess potential vanishes, balancing forces disappear, and your desires flow to you effortlessly, because there's no energetic resistance. Let's integrate everything you've learned today. First, you discovered the science. Reality isn't one fixed timeline. It's a space of infinite parallel variations, all existing simultaneously. The double-slit experiment proved that consciousness collapses quantum possibilities into physical reality. The many worlds interpretation confirms that every version of your life already exists. You're not creating from scratch. You're selecting from infinite options through the frequency you broadcast. Second, you learned the energy mechanics. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than your brain. This field is your quantum antenna, broadcasting your frequency to the space of variations and determining which layer of reality you experience. Heart-brain coherence synchronizes your biofield into a clear, powerful signal. Pendulums hijack your frequency by triggering emotional reactions. Excess potential, need, force, importance, generates balancing forces that block your desires. Third, you receive the practical protocols. Heart coherence to activate your quantum antenna. Feeling to break free from pendulums. The slide technique to embody the frequency of your desired reality. Releasing importance to dissolve excess potential and allow effortless manifestation. When you integrate these three, the science, the energy, and the practice, you don't just intellectually understand vibration. You become a master of frequency. You become someone who consciously selects their reality instead of unconsciously inheriting one. And here's what happens when you master your frequency. Synchronicities become normal. Opportunities appear effortlessly. People align with you or naturally fall away. Your internal state becomes unshakable, regardless of external circumstances. You stop chasing and start allowing. You stop forcing and start flowing. You become, as Zeland says, the master of your reality, not through control, but through alignment. Now I want to hear from you. Which concept from this video resonated most deeply? Was it the space of variations, pendulums, excess potential, the slide technique? And more importantly, have you experienced sliding between timelines without realizing it? Share your story in the comments. I read every single comment and respond personally. And if you implement the slide technique or heart coherence practice, come back in 14 days and share what shifted. Your experience might inspire thousands of people who are exactly where you are now. If this content shifted something in you, if you felt that activation in your body, that recognition of truth, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week, I bring new videos integrating quantum physics, consciousness, energy mastery, and reality transurfing principles. This is just the beginning of your journey into conscious reality creation. We're building a community of people who are done with surface-level manifestation and ready for the real mechanics of how consciousness creates reality. Join us. And if you know someone who's been struggling with manifestation, someone who's tried all the techniques but nothing's working, someone who's ready to understand the actual science and energy behind reality creation, share this video with them. You might be changing someone's life by doing so. This isn't just information, this is activation. And when the right person sees this at the right time, their entire reality can shift. And if you want to go even deeper into reality transurfing and the practical techniques for timeline shifting, watch the next video on the screen right now. You're seeing 1111 because quantum entanglement is calling you. Decode it now. Or check out the complete reality transurfing playlist in the description, where I break down every principle from Vadim Zeland's work in detail. Your quantum education continues now. Remember, you didn't find this video by accident. The fact that you watched this entire video, all 60 minutes, shows that you're ready for this level of understanding. You're ready to move beyond surface-level manifestation and into conscious reality selection. You didn't randomly stumble here. Your higher self guided you here because you're ready to step into a new timeline. one where you're no longer a victim of circumstances, but a master of frequency. You have within you the ability to change your frequency, and when you change your frequency, you change your reality. This isn't magic. This is quantum physics. This is how consciousness and energy actually work. You are the observer collapsing infinite possibilities into physical form. You are the quantum antenna broadcasting your desired reality into existence. You are the creator selecting from the space of variations. Not someday, not when you're more ready or more worthy. Right now, in this moment, you already have everything you need. The only question is, will you use it? The universe is waiting for you to vibrate at the frequency of your desired reality. So start today. Start now. Do the heart coherence practice tomorrow morning. Practice frailing when you feel triggered. Use the slide technique to embody your desired timeline. Release importance and watch what happens. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay in coherence, stay free from pendulums, and remember, everything is energy. And once you learn to vibrate correctly, reality is yours.